Take you live now to the lawyers for the family who have been there in court today. Let's just have a listen into this.
Really, that's in relation to a determination that was made at the minister at the time in relation to a group of people within this cohort, and that's why that date is significant. It's not necessarily that it's significant to it only applying to the applicant. It actually applies to a number of people. There's a question as to the way in which that determination should be read, really, I guess, in simple terms. So whether it's an ordinary meaning or you look beyond that, you know, it's statutory interpretation. And that will be potentially one of the issues that comes out in the decision tomorrow.
Have you spoken to the family today yourself in regards to what's going on?
I spoke to the family last night. As we know, Christmas Island's 3 hours behind, so I spoke to them last night just to also check in as well to see how things are doing, but also explaining that we will brief them at the end of today as to where things are. They've probably, to be honest, may have already been notified that the injunction has been extended because there are other contacts in the case. Yep.
Just the phrase is constantly used that the bar was raised during this 3-month period. Can you explain what this actually means when you say the bar was raised?
So that's
the importance of that.
So in the caseload known as the legacy caseload, or, you know, boat arrivals within a certain period, the only way you can apply for a visa is if the bar comes up, or lift the bar is the terminology. It's not actually a legal definition, it is just what people call it, but it relates to Section 46A of the Migration Act. So it's whether at some point the bar had gone up and remains up, or whether it has gone down, maybe another way of putting it, again, not really a legal term, but probably a way that we often describe it. So it's whether a valid application could be made or not.
Karina, if the decision goes in your favour tomorrow, can the government or the minister still trump that decision in a way? I mean,
I think
it's
actually really
overrule that decision?
It's hard for me to determine that or give you an accurate answer on that until we get the decision tomorrow.
Was there a real concern that the government was going to start the deportation process if that deadline had been extended?
If we had had a decision that went against us today, I think the removal process would have been commenced, yes. But given the process is still underway, I think they are aware that they were agreeable that they couldn't be removed during that process.
Similarly, if tomorrow the decision isn't ruled in your favour, are you expecting that they would be deported from Christmas Island immediately?
Really, that's a question to ask the Department of Home Affairs, but if there's nothing pending, then that risk is there.
Would you then, what options would you have left to you then to try and stop that happening? Or have you exhausted all your options?
That's not something I'm going to answer today because I think we'll wait to see what happens tomorrow. One more question?
Not sure we have any if you can't talk about today.
I know, it's really hard. So,
A little bit more explanation as to that secondary argument about whether there was a statutory decision made.
No, I'm not going to go into the technicalities of the case. So I'm happy to talk about it after tomorrow's decision, but I think given that it is pending, it's best for me to not comment. So sorry I can't give you anything more. But
all right, we'll leave that. They're the lawyer for the family. They've got another 24 hours, as you can hear there, but exactly where this is going to end up tomorrow, we still don't know. A bit of discussion there from the lawyer about focusing on whether the bar has gone up or down in relation to protection claims for those Tamils from Sri Lanka that we were discussing this very issue with the Tamil Refugee Council. Just before we heard there, look, this will be a big focus tomorrow, no doubt, 4 o'clock. The injunction has been extended until 4 o'clock tomorrow. And if they don't win, look, the lawyer there being a little coy on whether there are any other options, but she did acknowledge that had they lost today, she expected the deportation would have gone ahead this afternoon. So you would expect if they do lose tomorrow, the deportation will go ahead tomorrow afternoon.